Hi, this is Mark from LongIslandWatch.com, and today we're going to be looking at Bambinos. This is finally the wrap-up of Generation 2 Bambinos. If you don't follow the Bambino, it is Orient's best-selling dress watch. It might be Orient's best-selling watch overall as a series. I'm not too sure about that. The Ray and the Mako might outsell it. But, the Bambinos went through versions 1, 2, 3, and then they got up to Generation 2 versions 1, 2, 3. Then there was a version 4, which was only in Generation 2. The whole thing gets extremely confusing. But what the takeaway is going to be that, this is the new version 3 Bambino, overtaking some of the older part numbers. It's under a new part number because it's got a new movement in it, which I'll discuss shortly. The version 3 Bambino, at least for my store, and I think for Orient overall, was probably the shortest lived in distribution time frame. I was looking through some past info, and these watches we sold through September of 15 to September of 16. It was a 1-year shot for all 4 styles, and that was it. In that 1 year, we went through around 1,500 of them, which, for the Bambino collection version 1, 2, 3 is actually by far the lowest performing one, but I think that's only because of supply. I do believe that it has the potential to be actually the best-selling version. And why? Well, from that September 16 till, about a week ago, I cultivated the waiting list for people that have signed up for notifications, and it was 1,035 email addresses. That's for an out-of-stock watch that people were interested in. And to me, I was like, wow, that is absolutely insane. For a watch that you couldn't find anywhere, people were still clicking to be notified when it's going to be back. So what is the watch all about? It's this real minimalist design. It's going to come in 4 colors. Automatic watch, standard automatic fare. I've got all 4 of them here. They make them in 4 varieties: gray, white, blue, and black. I'll go over them and give you all the specs, try one on, and you can see if maybe you want to add one of these to your collection. So let's get over to the table and check it out. Okay, so I've got the 4 new Bambinos in front of you. Now again, these are all Generation 2, version 3. I know it gets extremely confusing, but for Orient, in the Bambino collection, the versions are basically the different dials, hands, what have you. The generational gap comes from the movement upgrades on the inside. So generation changes are strictly on the inside. That is going from a movement that does not hand wind and hack to one that does. So again, I've got 4 models. I've got a blue dial, a white dial, a gray dial, and a black dial. So these are all designed in, what's usually considered the Bauhaus design philosophy. It's fairly minimalistic. It's got a date, but, that's good for functionality. But stick hands, stick indices, very clean, simple face. We'll pick them up and go over them. Again, I'm only going to do one in severe detail because they are all the same besides the dial color. So I'm going to go into detail on the white dial version. Maybe you would think I would have picked the blue one, but photogenically for the camera, I think the white one shows up the best. Some of the darker colors tend to pick up whatever I'm wearing, other reflections, and makes it hard to read. So it's got this nice, I'm going to say it's not paper white. It's a little pearlescent. It's it's even a little sunburst from the middle going out. You can see the striations. It's a nice dial that's this off-whitish color, maybe a little bit silver. It's got a domed mineral crystal. Stainless steel case with a combination of brushing and polishing on it. Solid screw-down case back. This one comes on a plain brown leather strap, no patterning. None of the watches have any patterning on the straps. And again, that's keeping with the minimalistic design. A signed buckle. Let's go over the size specifications. So it is 40.5 millimeters in diameter. It is just shy of 12 millimeters thick. The tip to tip from here to here is going to come out to be around 46.5 millimeters. Now, I'll put it on my 6 3/4 inch wrist at the end of the video, or towards the end. The lug is like the other V1, V2, V3 Bambinos at 21 millimeters. So yes, Your strap options will be limited. We sell a couple of different 21 millimeter straps, some from the Hirsch Duke offering, and then another generic actual crocodile strap, to no-name croc strap in 21 millimeter. But that might be the only downfall of the watch. So as I mentioned, it has Orient's new movement, and it is hand winding, so you can wind it by spinning the crown. Hacks, which means when I pull out the crown, you watch the seconds hand. Hand winds and hacks. Has a power reserve of about 40 hours, and per Orient's own instruction manual, expected accuracy is around plus 25 to minus 15 seconds a day. You'll probably get better results, but again, that's what Orient puts in the manual. The movement beats at 21,600 vibrations per hour, beats per hour. So you remember from some of the watch and learns that we did, the seconds hand is ticking about 6 times a second. So it's a fairly smooth sweep. Looks really nice. The water resistance is 30 meters, so it's a dress watch. You're not going to take it diving, so it's going to be good enough for, being in the rain, doing the dishes if you're stuck with dish duty, or any other light, water activity. There is no luminescence on any of these. Again, sticking with the true dress watch theme. So we can zoom in on the dial. You can see the dial work. Just really nice. I love how the crystal plays with the dial and vice versa. It almost has that appearance of being an acrylic crystal with the high dome to it, but it's not. It is a mineral crystal, so it's fairly scratch resistant. Not 100% like sapphire, but it does a pretty decent job. Like all Orient watches, the movement is made in Japan, even though the watch is not. And if you are sharp, you will note that one exterior change from the original Gen 1 V3 is the addition of ANT on the end of water resist. These became water resistant. But that's about it from the external changes. All the generational changes are pretty much on the inside of the watch. So for those unfamiliar with an automatic watch, just really quick, it does wind with the power of your body. You wear it, and there's a little weight inside that moves around, and it winds the watch. It will build up a 40-hour power reserve after a day of decent activity. At that point, you could take it off for up to about 36 hours. Put it back on, it will still be running. Or if you're not going to wear it every day, you can just give the crown a couple of twists, and it will keep going. It never needs a battery. It's not solar. It just runs on mechanical energy. It's pretty cool. And for pricing, these are all under $200. The typical Bambino lineup pricing, they generally fall between $150 and $200, but certainly extremely, extremely affordable. For the white one that I'm showing you now, let's look at the tag, is model number AC0000EW. So I'm going to put this one aside, and now I will pick up my blue beauty. This is, all of them have about the same part number, AC0000DD. Now, the Generation 1 V3 Bambino, again, the same watch, but with the different movement on the inside, the one that didn't hand wind and hack, I want to say the blue was different. I don't have any here. I searched high and low. I have no scratch and dents. I have no nothing. I want to say the blue was not as reflective, but it doesn't bother me. The blue is absolutely stunning. It's looks more like the V4 blue, if you will, but just in a smaller case size. So you can see the blue certainly reflects light, plays with the crystal just like the white one did. Really cool looking. All the details are the same. It's going to maintain the same case, the same movement, hand winding, hacking. We've gone to a black leather strap without any kind of texturing or graining to it. Still 21 millimeter lugs, sign buckle, but it's blue, so how can you complain? Now, the next one I'm going to show you is the one that actually I think might rival the blue. I mean, for people who like a splash of color, white will always be the best seller, hands down in this lineup. But blue is usually a close second. But this one, I feel, is a little bit of an unsung hero in the lineup. This is the gray dial. It used to be KA, now it's called CA. It's AC0000CA. And it's got this, I guess it's almost like an anthracite type of dial. Retains the same luster as the white dial, but just in this gray color. But not too gray. It's not like carbon. It's not dark. Just a really nice, tell me that's not a great dress watch to wear with a suit, shirt and tie. sleek enough to fit under a cuff. Just really, really knockout. Still on a black strap. Kind of grayish stitching to match it a bit. Whereas on the other one, the blue one I showed you, the stitching is, I believe, is black. It doesn't really match the dial. I mean, this is just, I don't know, this one's really cool. I really, really dig this. It gives the blue a run for its money in an off color, not white, not black, and in popularity. Originally, this one would be the laggard, and then as time went on, the gray dial actually took off and became extremely popular. Which will bring me then to the last one. Not to say that it's the ugly sister, but it's the black dial, and it's your conventional black dial dress watch. This is AC000DB. It's a beautiful black dial. I would say gone is the sunburst. It's really just a smooth, glossy black dial. Silver hand still. When I do it like that, I know you can't read it. It's the light, it's the camera. It does not appear like that in normal lighting. This is what it really looks like. But this is the conventional dress watch. Simple, black strap, black stitching, matching buckle. The whole package. And black is nothing to sneeze at, but let's face it, how many of us own black watches? It's the most popular watch color. I don't know if that's actually a fact. That's my opinion. But from what I see, I would say it's probably pretty close to being true. Black's first, white second, then everyone else is a distant third. So what I'm going to do next is I will pop, maybe put the gray one on my wrist today for a change. I know you always expect me to do blue. I'll pop the gray one on and let's see how it looks on my wrist. So there you go. This is a definite go-to watch in any dress-up situation. When I worked in the engineering industry, I actually wore a shirt and tie to work every day. Now that I'm kind of out of that business, I don't have a need to. My dress up as if I wear jeans. I usually do not dress up by any stretch of the imagination. But if I did, this is the watch I would wear. And this is awesome. Look at that. Is that not gorgeous? Man, really nice. Anyway, 6 3/4 inch wrist. That lug-to-lug dimension of 46.5, I think, will fit a multitude of wrist sizes. And, I don't clasp it, but you can see where it is. Plenty of room to go in either direction. And like I said, the only downfall here is strap options are fairly limited. But, man, that for me can be overlooked for the beauty of the watch. So this has been Mark from LongIslandWatch.com showing you the Generation 2 version 3 Bambinos. Please like this video if you enjoyed it. Please subscribe to our channel if you have not done so yet. If you have any questions or comments, please put them down below and I'll be sure to address them as soon as I can. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.